Happy Thursday, and welcome to today's Thought Leadership Thursday with enzyme innovation on freshness and baked goods. Enzyme innovation is a research driven uh, company and a leader in probiotics and enzymes. They're backed by over 67 years of manufacturing expertise and scientific innovation. They provide clean label, eco safe solutions that enhance performance across 25 industries. From baking and food and beverage to craft brewing and animal feed, too. Their enzyme solutions improve everything from shelf life to dough extensibility and crumb structure. Today, we are joined by Dr. Deepak Rhoda, Vice President of Market and Business Development. Welcome, Deepak. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Thank you, Dr. Lin. It's good to see you, and thank you for having me on this on the thought leadership.
Yeah.
So, a little bit about myself is I I've been with the company for last 20, 21 years, and total of 30 years of experience in field of enzymes and probiotics. I'm a chemical engineer and enzymologist. Traveled to over more than 50 countries. Uh, at Enzyme Innovation, I do take care of sales and marketing, also the product development, and in particular to baking, I also manage the baking lab, doing research on providing different solutions, what bakers are facing a challenge, see how I can help bakers to meet the demand and challenges they are facing. So, a whole lot of stuff we have, and a good stuff we have at Enzyme Innovation now in the baking area.
Thank you. So, enzymes for baking is actually to ensure freshness. So, how do you define freshness in baked products?
Interesting question. And so, freshness, I've been like walking into this market for some time now. And the way I understand freshness is a perception, and it is kind of in a sensory stuff, which encompasses like the visual appeal, the taste, the aroma, and freshness, the shelf life. So different people they define like they perceive the freshness in much different way. uh, Majority of them they say like, hey, it's a shelf life, and shelf life also has 2 points there. So one perceives shelf life as an softness or the moistness over some period of time. The other would say, hey, it's about the molding, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really it is a multi-sensory thing when it comes to freshness, and it all goes to consumers how they see it. But we are in for anything and everything there what consumer is looking for.
Right. So, as a consumer myself, I would just pick up a loaf of bread, and if it's hard and stale, I would put it down. Right. So, and it's mold free. If it's soft and it's mold free, I'll pick it up and I'll buy it. So,
Yeah.
how different is it across different baked goods?
So different baked goods, they have different norms of freshness as perceived by the consumers once again. So example, if we are looking at breads, so we have a regular bread or a whole wheat bread. When consumer picks up the bread from the rack, they look at how soft the loaf is. Some also look at like, hey, how the crumb would look like if something is a cut portion, So they need like really a good honeycomb structure.
Right.
Golden crust is very important, and uh, like they'll go with the squeeze and see how it is. If the squeeze is soft for them, it is fresh.
Right.
But this goes a little different in artisanal bread. Now, in artisanal bread, they need a crispiness on the crust.
Hmm.
If it's not crispy, then they would say, hey, this is not a fresh artisan bread. you know, and the
Mhm.
crumb doesn't matter much in artisanal bread. If I
Correct.
go to tortillas, one is making whole wheat tortilla or a corn tortilla. If it's corn tortilla, they want to have that the corn aroma, which is very important.
That's true.
But in addition to aroma, there is like a rollability, flexibility. Uh, these some parameters they matter. Even the visual appeal, if it is like a yellow or if it is made from the flour or it is made from the nixtamalized corn. So so there it's a resilience and freshness. Sorry, the rollability. That's what it matters. When it goes to cake, anything which is moist, or the spongy appearance in the cake, that's what it will appeal to them as a freshness. And of course,
Right.
the glaze has to be shiny on the surface.
Right.
Goes to cookies, then in cookies, they want to have the edges, which is crispy, but yet the inner of the cookies has to be soft.
Correct.
So different baked goods, they go with different properties or a different texture properties, I would say, what consumer is looking at.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, how can one quantify freshness then if it's, such a perceptive taste and texture?
So, Dr. Lin, it's once again a mix of perception and yeah, many things now with the modern technology, they are quantifiable. Okay. So when we are looking at the softness, yes, we can measure the softness. We are looking at shelf life where moisture is one of the feature. Then we can measure the moisture. Uh, if the honeycomb structure is what it is required in the bread, then we can go with the spectral measurements and then see how the comb structure would look like. If we are looking at, I would say, a golden crust, the color can also be defined with the measurements. But yet there are a lot of perceptions, you know. I would say, hey, resilience. I can still check with the texture analyzer how resilient the bread would be or the spring back properties, but people would still would say, hey, let me fold the bread and then see how it is going, or let me roll the um, tortilla and then see if it is rollable and if it is breaking, not breaking. In tortilla, I can also measure the softness with the puncture force. I can do that. Or in bread also, we can look at how much the gas is formed or what is the oven spring. So these all things they could be checked in, but it's a mix of perception and then but good part is now with technologies advancing, there are many things which gets quantifiable, except the aroma and other stuff you still cannot do it. One would say I like the rancid aroma, the other would say, hey, rancid aroma is kind of staleness, I don't like it. So we are measuring in our labs here, we do measure and then they
Yeah.
are quantifiable.
Sometimes rancid aroma sometimes come from mold too, sometimes come from high moisture systems, and sometimes it just smells like paint thinner.
Yes, that's what it does it.
It does.
Uh, And molding, yes, we can also check the onset of the molding depending on first stage is kind of an rancidity, and then from there it goes towards like the less moistness, and then you can see some microbes they are growing.
Yeah.
So we can time along with the time we can run all those tests. So this is all like a lot of things they are quantifiable, I would say.
Thank you. So, what are the biggest pain points in the baking industry in terms of this freshness challenge?
Oh, with the consumer demand now, it's not one. There are so many pain points. But a few majors I would certainly like to make it a point here. The first and foremost is the cost. These are like the ingredient costs, they are rising. And so the bakers, they are finding it really tough to keep up with the production costing, maintain the production cost.
Mhm.
Um, this is added up, topped up by the inflation because the inflation index is on rise, and then that's affecting a large onto the bakers.
Right.
The another biggest area is the supply chain disruption. That's a big challenge there. like they want to deliver certain goods in some time. It's not happening. Products are, time sensitive or I would say biodegradable kind of stuff. It's if we are not delivering on time, the shelf life gets affected. In ingredients, one of the thing is also like the example, if we take the eggs, a lot of eggs they are used in baked products. There's a disease outbreak, and eggs goes like crazy or non-availability of the ingredients. And the consumer demands. Consumer is demanding day by day something different. Like they want something different. Bread is a regular bread every day. I want to eat something different. Now, whether it's from the taste or aroma, but also from the health aspect. So
Right.
on health side, I want to have high protein. I don't want to have a bread which is having gluten.
Mm-hmm.
So what I want to do. Sustainability is another big thing here because with such demand, bakers have to use little funky grains. So they have to look at sustainability, or it's other way around. There is a grain available where it could be sustainable. Can one make a big product there? You know,
Right. Yeah.
so it is all going on to the bakers, and so these are to my understanding, these are some major challenges what baker is facing right now.
Wonderful. So, what solutions do you offer?
So what we have done is over the last 5 7 years, we kind of spoke to so many uh, baking companies. We understood, like we spent some time understanding the market trends. And based on that, then we devised various different solutions to answer the challenges what a baker is facing right now. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, like the measure comes from the freshness or the softness across variety of baked products, and even on the multi-grains or different raw materials. So we work majorly on defining like providing a solution or designing a solution in freshness category. And today, like when we looked at the market, people do so many different things to maintain the freshness, which are healthy or unhealthy, or which is altering the aroma or the texture or the sensory things. So we design a beautiful freshness solutions and which won't alter any taste or aroma, and then it can work across variety of stuff. So freshness is something where it's a big thing with us right now.
Yeah. So, must we reformulate to accommodate your solution?
So like when we looked at all these things, we handpicked our enzymes, and designed one such an enzyme where one doesn't need to reformulate anything. We made it like a stupidly simple solution. So our like Seebeck Fresh line of products we designed in such a way where with one single product it can work across variety of baked goods, and there is no need to reformulate anything. This is just like in a top up. You just
Always,
add it and then that's it.
right. That's always nice to have plug and play solutions.
Yes, that's
Oh,
another plug and play solution.
yeah. Do we need to declare the solution on our ingredient statement?
So this goes by what regulation, what norms one is following. Dr. Lin, you know how the labeling regulations they are there.
I have to ask anyway.
Yeah.
Because that's
So
almost
yeah. So going by science, when I'm adding enzyme into the baking, this is a processing aid. This is not an additive because in the baking temperature, the enzyme gets denatured. Okay. So to me, if I'm adding anything which is as an additive and which is remaining in the final product, then one needs to declare.
Mhm.
But what we have experienced and we know, all our enzymes, they get like denatured in the baking temperatures. So one doesn't need to really declare anything on the label. People say, hey, this is still additive and we want to declare it and put it. So one can declare better than a simple saying enzymes. You don't have to like go into anything very specific. That's my understanding.
Yeah.
So
And I think what we need to share about enzymes, Dr. Rhoda, is really they are amino acids, they are proteins, right?
yeah,
And proteins can't survive the kill step. So knowing that our kill step is way above 200. I mean, most proteins kill steps are what between 165 to maybe 170, 80.
170. Yes.
170. So nothing, no proteins can survive our kill step. In most baked goods, we're not talking about all baked goods. We're not talking about cheesecake, right?
Yeah.
Cheesecake
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
longer. But most all our baked goods have kill step above that. So really, we are really killing off the proteins
Yeah.
and really disengage it. It's inactivated. So
Yeah.
it's no longer in the final product. That's why, we have been talking about this as it's a processing aid. It no longer is the particular ingredient that is inside. So,
The, yeah. There is another thing also here. If we go by enzyme theory, so let's say one particular enzyme molecule, it could, let's say, act on to example. I'm just throwing some number. So it would hydrolyze or it will act on to 100 substrate molecules.
uh,
But so these are like the reactants, enzyme and the substrate. They are the reactants, and there are some products comes out. Now, when the products comes out, they will denature. At certain concentration, they will start denaturing the enzyme by itself.
mm-hmm,
So that's another aspect of doing it up. So it's not necessarily that, yeah, we really need a high temperature for to do it. Yes, that's a good thing because we are unfolding the enzyme protein structure. We have like in a tertiary and quaternary structure, we are really breaking it down. So no active site, nothing
right,
remaining. But
right.
also these products, when it comes out in a baking stuff, they becomes like a limiting factor for enzyme. The enzyme gets deactivated by itself.
Right. And this is why I don't think the internal baking profiles must be changed, right?
No, it should not be changed, and there is no need of declaration, to my understanding.
Yeah.
People are doing it up. I see, like when I walk onto the in the store and pick up some baked goods onto the rack. In some I see enzymes, in some I don't see enzymes. In some I see even the name of the enzymes which are there.
That is, yeah.
So this is much different.
Yeah,
But by science, no, there's no need to declare because it's a process aid.
correct. So, how many more days of freshness can we get with these solutions?
So as you know, different baked goods, they have different shelf life. More number of days when we come to that factor. So example, a bread is there which is for 5 days. The bread is for 7 days. Bread is also for 14 days. With our solutions are like the Seabake Fresh Ultra. That's our brand name, which is our freshness solution. So this helps to improve the shelf life by 100%. So I would say it doubles up at least, you
Nice.
know. So in bread, like example, in bread, a bread of 14 days, we got a shelf life of 35 days. It's more than double.
Wow.
Okay. In frozen goods, when we did it in frozen tortilla, a frozen tortilla for 15 months, you take out from the deep freeze condition and just heat it, warm it up. That is still fresh.
Wow.
If I'm going on to on the cakes, generally it's like a high fat and high sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low moisture.
So yeah, low moisture. It goes on 14 days and 21 days of cakes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I would say on safer side, minimum doubling
Okay.
the shelf life and the softness with the treatment of Cibec Fresh Ultra on the last day of that particular baked good is the same as the untreated on the day one. You still get like 14-day really a fresh baked product.
Yeah. So will it also make the product less crispy? Like we're worried about, adding it to artisan bread. Is it going to make it less crisp?
No, because the crispiness is a feature of different things. Uh, it depends what we are adding. So, example, let's say if I'm doing wheat flour, something. Uh, so there are like a lot of xylan, hemicellulose, pectin, other things they are there. When you heat it up, it will give you crispiness along with the starch.
Yeah.
Okay. So Civic Fresh Ultra, it is acting on the amylopectin portion of starch only. It's not doing like anything else. So enzymes are very specific in action.
Yeah.
So it will just delay the retrogradation process of the starch, which is there. And other than this, there's no any action of this enzyme. So with
Wonderful.
this, there is no effect onto adverse effect onto any crispiness or anything. It's just building the moistness, binding the moisture, and retarding the starch retrogradation. That's the way it is done.
It's great. So I have one more question. Will it provide an off flavor over shelf life? We're always worried about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, off flavors they are coming when you are using something which is other than enzyme. So, like I was telling you earlier, people are using so many different things for shelf life, like high fat or high emulsifiers. A lot of sugars they've been used. So over a period, yes, because the products which comes out of all these one, they are like a lot of complex products they come out. That gives you some off flavor, something. Example, if emulsifier, if it is a little acidic or something, of course, emulsifiers they are like glyceride or in emulsified form. Sugars they are different in different form, but then end of the day it is acidity. So that will run rancid. It will form some complex with the starchy molecules or other ingredients which are used there, and it will give you something, some different aroma, some flavors. But this absolutely no. Rather, our observation is uh, the baked goods, which is treated with the Cibec Fresh Ultra, in our sensory evaluation from our panel, they like that aroma much better than the regular breads.
Wow, amazing. Well,
Yes.
that's all the questions I have today, Dr. Rhoda. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your wisdom all the time.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always good to talk to you. I learn a lot, and it's always exciting to share some knowledge, helping the folks in the baking industry.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. This has been your Thought Leadership Thursday with Enzyme Innovation. See you soon and happy baking. Bye.
Bye.